Justice is equity, and it knows no boundary. The litigants have genuine cause of action, and Judge Fumi Asaolu is ever ready to dispense justice, ensuring amicable settlement.
So how come she's not been paying this man out of the profit she's making? Explain it to her. Because as far as I'm concerned, that's an act of wickedness. And she's trying to play smart. That's the impression I'm having.
She is fearless.
Don't you ever look at me straight in the eyes and say, wait.
She is firm.
I don't see this man as somebody that will kill you. All he wants is for you to just perform conjugal rights. I'm telling you.
She is hilarious. The dispute is real, and the judgment is binding. This is the Justice Court.
Today on the Justice Court, the plaintiff, Henry Ejeta, is suing for the sum of 2,500,000 naira, being the balance payment for a contract he did not complete. The defendant, Ndem Azubike, claims he owes the plaintiff no money.
All rise. Court in session. Honorable Judge Fumi Asaolu presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, this case is between Henry and Azubike. Parties sworn on oath.
Thank you. Henry Ejeta.
Yeah, man.
What did you say?
I say yes, ma'am.
You say yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
You are the one suing Ndem Azu.
Yes, Your Honor.
I want you to narrate to me how you came about the demand of 2.5 million naira from him. That's what your claim is about, right?
Yeah, I'll tell you the story.
Not here. Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right then. I'm listening.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
On the 12th of November 2019, his tugboat sank in Lagos. So on the 13th, he approached us to help him rescue.
That's the following day?
Yes. To help him rescue the tugboat from under the seabed. It is a major channel. So we carried out what you call recce, reconnaissance. We discovered the tugboat was upside down at a depth of low tide, 18 meters deep, high tide, 22 meters deep. Very, very dark seabed. As we could only see from this distance to this distance. And very, very dangerous, with very, very high tide that kept running every time. So we gave him a quotation of 4 million naira. Then he gave us an advance payment of 1,500,000 naira. So we got materials. We got air balloon bags that are used to lift heavy objects from the seabed. The tugboat weighs 50 tons, so the air balloon bags we got were about 75 tons, could lift 75 tons. So on the 14th, we started with the airbags. We've connected sling wires and every other thing we need.
Did you agree on the time frame?
Okay, about time frame, he said 4 days. So
he said or you agreed on 4 days?
That was not really an agreement.
I don't understand. There is a contract between you. He asked you to do something for him. And at the point when he asked you to do it, you went to check it. That's why you could give me all this information you just gave me. It was after you assessed that you gave him a bill. Okay. Right? It's only natural for him to ask you how long it will take you to bring it out. It's just basic. What is he paying for?
Okay, yes, Your Honor.
All right then. So how long?
4 days.
4 days. Okay, go ahead.
But Your Honor, he didn't take into consideration that the tide keeps moving, reduced diving operations.
He's not the one that will take that into consideration. That's your own profession. So even if he has insisted that he wants it out in 4 days, if you know it's not possible, you tell him, you explain to him. Because that's your own field. Do you understand me? You've assessed. You now tell him that, look, the tide here is high. Getting it done within 4 days will be impossible. Then you will just agree on the number of days that will take, but go ahead. I'm listening.
Thank you, Your Honor. So we continued after about 2 weeks, the airbags could only adjust the tugboat slightly, but they could not lift them. That is technology. It's not maybe. These are circumstances we did not envisage. So we switched from the use of airbags. They were trapped. They remained trapped within the tugboat. We switched from airbags to the use of barge. Then the entire monies dropped for mobilization and the rest. So we switched to the barge operations after about 2 weeks of trying with the lift bags.
After about
2 weeks.
2 weeks
of trying with the airlift bags.
That's beyond the 4 days.
Way beyond.
You are talking about 12 days after, or 14
yes,
days, about 14 days after.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, go ahead. Okay.
Mr. Indem witnessed the sea current himself.
It's okay. I'm just listening.
We could only dive 30 minutes a day. Anybody that goes beyond that, the person will die.
Okay.
The tide runs from the Atlantic Ocean into Marina and goes through under Second Mainland Bridge, under Qatar Bridge to Ikorodu Lagoon, to the lagoon. Then it runs like that. Let's say you wake up, you meet it running like that.
Okay.
Then it will return back to the ocean. So the only time it has a slack is usually we can meet a slack either at 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m., or 12 p.m.
Okay, those are the time you can.
Yes, and
dive.
the slack is for only 30 minutes a day.
All right. Okay.
And it is very dangerous to deploy more than 2 divers under the seabed, especially when it is dark. The divers will collide themselves and cause more confusion among themselves because they won't be seeing each other.
All right.
We tried torchlights. They won't shine. So after about 2 weeks, we got we brought in badge. He brought badge for us. And the badge stayed with us till the end of the entire thing. We bought new sets of sling wires. They're very costly. So then we started buying with our own money because we felt if we could rescue this tugboat from this very difficult place, we will make reputation in Lagos and the entire Africa because nobody could have done that. And then judging the fact that we were attempting this thing with very, very low cost, very, very impossible, and not classified, not classed. So one midnight, about 1 a.m., the tugboat lifted briefly and everything drifted. So we drifted back to Second Mainland Bridge, and then they got a tugboat that came to us, connected us to the rescue barge, and pulled everything away. So as it was pulling it towards where you have the Akpongbon bus stop sheet piling, the sheet piling is a series of metal plates that they place in front of the river bank. So as it was pulling it to safety, the tugboat hit the seabed again. So the depth there is about 10 meters.
It sank again.
Yeah, it was still under, but it was moving because it's no longer on the seabed as at the
Okay.
time it drifted. So the
Okay.
tugboat moved it from here towards the Akpongbo sheet piling before it hit the seabed again and rested again. So we continued briefly for about 1 week. That lasted till on the 23rd of December before it suddenly ran out of patience.
That's
Said,
about,
we are terminated.
that's over a month.
Yes, Your Honor.
You started on 14th, and you're now talking about 23rd of the following month.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So what now happened?
He terminated us and left us with whole lots of debts.
Mr. Zu?
Yeah. To your honor. It was on the 12th of November. My clients asked me to pull a container from the main port going to Akpongbo. So suddenly the container hit the bridge. So the tugboat, the function of the tugboat is to push the barge that carried the container. So when he reached there, when he hit, two of them could not balance that very, and the tugboat sank inside that place, even the container itself. So I called them on the 12th. Then we discussed. They proved that orally that they can do it. On the 14th, I took them to the side. They saw it. They said, confirm, they can do it. On the 15th, they commenced work. That on the 15th of November, they commenced work. They keep on doing it because we agreed on 4 days to finish up the job. 4 days passed, asked him how far. Stories of how currents are there, stories of how the deepness of the. I said I knew all these things. That was why I called you. So after some time, they could not. That extra days beyond the 4 days we agreed on. MPA is disturbing. That the route is very dangerous. Harbor master there, Navy, very close there. So we are blocking that place. That thing must be removed. I called them, we discussed again. What is the problem? They say the only solution is to bring up the tugboat to assist them with a badge. I said, okay, let's go on to that because of the relationship I have with them. Otherwise, I don't need to go and hire because it's my money. I will spend those people that are coming with the badge, it can't be free. So I look at it and say, I will help you. We call the badge. They manage the situation, though they try a little bit, by pulling it out of the Akpongbo Bridge. A little bit. The Navy, the MPA, still complaining that even at that spot, that the current, they cannot allow it to remain there. The tugboat to remain there. They should remove it. The badge was given to them. They added to their own efforts. I don't know what they bought to assist it. 3 days, 4 days after that days of agreement. 7 days, 10 days. Money is going. Take note of that.
When you said take note of that, who are you talking to?
Huh?
When you said take note of that, who are you addressing?
To the jury.
Where's your jury? You are behaving as if you are acting a drama. But go ahead.
Okay. After that day, it was on the 10th, I look at it that they cannot do it. Navy came again, disturbing me. MP also came. Even the MPA manager told me that they can do it. But I will pay extra money. Because of the pressure. On the 25th of December, I told them that they should pack out. By then, I have already made agreement with the MPA to pull it from that.
Did you pay MPA people too?
Huh?
Did you pay them at the MPA?
I paid them.
The divers there, did
Yes,
you pay them?
They have their own drivers.
Did you pay them?
Yes.
You had to pay again.
Yes. So,
And the badge that you said you got to assist them, how much did you pay for that?
every day, normally they're supposed to collect 500,000 a day. But because of the relationship I have with the owner, he brought it to 250,000.
So how much did you pay in all for that?
In total, I've given them about 6 million. I've given them about 6 million. Just to hold. Then, on that 25th, I told them, since you people cannot be able to do it, let these people try their best. Let me see what they can do to pull it from that place, because the best thing is to remove this top up from that place. That was when I disengaged them.
So how long?
Now they are now demanding.
Just a minute. How long did it take the MPA divers to remove it for you?
It doesn't concern anybody. It concerns me that because I'm spending my money.
You are telling me it does not concern me. If I ask you a question, you answer me directly. How long did it take you, the MPA divers, to help you bring out the tugboat?
Well, it took them 6 days.
It's for your own good. The question I'm even asking you, this is something they took almost 41 days. They could not achieve. Eventually, you got people that could do it in 6 days. And I'm asking you are telling me nobody has the right to ask you a question.
I'm sorry, my honor.
It's okay, go ahead.
So that was, on that 25th, I disengaged them. So they are now demanding I should pay them 2.5 million. Balance them demand, because the total agreement we had with them was 4 million. I gave them 1.5 million, just like it said.
So,
The plaintiff, Henry, claims he spent lots of personal money on the tugboat rescue, and the sudden revoke of the contract left his company with huge debts. The defendant, Azubike, said he had to pay another company to rescue the tugboat after spending about 6 million naira on barge rental to support the plaintiff's effort. Judge Fumi weighed in on this matter.
I'm not sure whether you've heard this before. All the money you had to spend as well. So what do you have to say to that? You still expect him to pay you 2.5 million naira? You don't seem to understand. You made him to spend much more than he would have spent if he had gone to the MPA divers. You gave him you had that misconception that you can bring the tugboat out. You use certain words to describe it, from that difficult place, from very, very dark place. We believe that if we bring it out, we make, what do you call it? An impact, a name with your company that everybody will believe you can do. So you already saw it as something that is difficult for you to do. You were just making an attempt to bring it out, believing if you could achieve it. I'm quoting you. Is what you told this court earlier. Now, if you have a contract with him and you charge him 4 million naira, he's paying for your expertise, not try and error. And at the time you picked up the contract, do you understand me? You collected a deposit of 1.5 million naira.
Yes, sir.
I believe you were supposed to be given the remaining 2.5 million naira after you've executed the contract. Along the line, you could not. And through that, you made him to spend extra 6 million naira. That he said, I don't have the proof here. Can you prove that to me? Do you have any document to prove that?
No.
Yeah, but the only thing is, even though if I cannot ascertain the amount you paid for the badge, right? I remember that earlier on, he said you assisted them by bringing in the badge.
Exactly.
So obviously, it's not as if you own the badge. You had to rent it. Whatever money you paid, they made you to pay extra money.
Exactly.
Secondly, I know the people that eventually executed that job, which are the MPA divers. They cannot do it for free. He has to pay for the services. Then again, you made him believe that within 4 days, everything will be over. You did not consider what they had to go through for those 41 days before he eventually gave up on you and went ahead with somebody else. Go ahead.
Your Honor, I and my friends have once rescued a fishing trawler that sank.
I'm not interested in that.
No.
It's not before me. I'm not interested.
No, I'm talking about antecedents now.
I'm not interested. I'm only concerned about this. This is what is before me. And all I want to know is what you did, the effort you put in, the result of the effort you put in executing this contract. I'm not interested.
Your Honor.
What you are saying doesn't make any sense to me.
Your Honor, another thing.
Okay.
Maritime does not operate like that. I'm very sorry to say this. He knows.
But you see, even if maritime does not operate like that, if you say you are doing something in 4 days, and even at the 41st day, that's 41st day, you still could not do it, and somebody else did it in 6 days, it obviously means there is not an assignment that is impossible to accomplish. It's 4 million naira you agreed on. He gave you deposit of 1.5 million. The fact that you could not even carry out the project, he has the right to ask for a refund of the 1.5 million naira from you. He should be standing here, and you should be here.
Your Honor, those MPA people, if we did not take it from here to here in the first instance, those
Is that the spot you agreed you were going to take it to?
Look, all of them, all of them in Lagos,
let me
all
tell
of
you,
them in Nigeria.
Listen to me.
Nobody,
when I'm talking, you keep quiet.
Sorry, Your Honor.
You can't talk back at me. And you can't talk over me either.
Sorry, Your Honor.
Let me tell you, if you had left it here, these same MPA divers, they will move it from here to this spot. And all you could do in 41 days is to move it from here to this spot. And you are still proud to come out here to claim balance, when you should be ashamed that what you have done will discredit your company. Do you understand me?
I understand.
You don't have the right to claim the money from him. You don't. If at all, he should be asking you for the deposit he has given you, because you've not performed, you've not executed the contract. You are supposed to move from point A to point B, but you could not even move it down there. And you have money with you that he gave you. So what has he paid for? Tell me. Ordinarily, he does not have a counter claim here. If he has a counter claim for the 1.5 million naira that he deposited with you, I'll grant him. That you have to start borrowing money or raising money Does not concern him. Because you raised the money, you still did not move it to the point where you're supposed to take it to. So what do you want him to pay for? I don't understand your mindset. He should give you the 2.4, you want to collect 4 million naira for doing what? No, tell me. That 4 million naira is for what? If you are in his shoes, you will pay it. You will pay the 4 million naira. Will you?
Maybe.
You will?
Maybe.
Maybe. You're not even sure.
The plaintiff is not able to establish facts to support his claim, and the defendant has no counterclaim. After the break, Judge Fumi rules.
This case is hereby dismissed.
All rise.
Have you been cheated or have a dispute and want justice? Don't take laws into your hands. Log on to www.thejusticecourt.com and submit your case.
You know, I've been a seaman since 2010, and I've done many things, and we've even done things like this, and then we've helped people in the past, and then we've tried to get others class and things like that.
I believe them based on their professional efficiency as proved by them. But unfortunately, in practical aspects, it was zero. So it's really, really bad.
If you hope that what you spent and lost, you would get, and you won't get, you won't be very satisfied.
Very, very fair. If our country, Nigeria, really follow due process as just they have, the judge passed the judgment, it will go a long way promoting this country. But unfortunately, if you go into various courts, it's being bastardized by sentiment. But they're straightforward. I think I have to stand on that word, Justice Court. I think I have to stand and praise the judge for the effort he has made by being impartial.